I had someone, a visitor, in the night, about 3 o'clock in the night. And it was not that this spirit was talking to me, but it was a sound in the air, and it come from inside my bedroom and not around me, not from the neighbor. The sound was here and now. So a spirit is already here. So I was saying to this spirit in the night that you can't wake me up in the night. I need to have my sleep, but you can talk to me in the daytime when it's light and I am awake, and because we can do that today. I don't need to be in such relaxing mood, so I am sleeping or on my way to fall to sleep or on my way to wake up. It's where it was before. But today I can be awake and it can be light, because a light around me, because those spirits that is coming to me and visit me, they are in the light. They are not from the darkness anymore. So they don't have to be scared about the light. So they can talk to me when they need to talk to me. So it seems like someone did a sign that the spirit wanted to talk to me. So that's why I'm recording now. It have been some small things, not important things for the spirit world, but it have been going on disturbing in my life. And it is, I think it's May 4, 2023. And it seems like it's this, what the spirit world has told us, that it's going to be something like a peak of bad things happen. And it seems like it is split, that is in different part of the world is it much going on. And here where I sit in Sweden, in Helsingborg city and close to Copenhagen airport, here is it about that the warm weather doesn't come. It should have been like summer now, but it isn't. This night, May 4, maybe it is. I think it's May 4. And could be, I don't know, because I was not up early and look out, but it could be frost. And you that live in countries where you don't get frost, that's a temperature that is very close. So if it's be bad weather, it's going to be snow. It's snowing. The ground it have a layer of icy layer on the grass, and it kill sensitive flowers, sensitive things we have grow. So that's not good. And it should have been this night, at least very close to the area where I am. So for what's going on this time this year, where I sit, where I live, it's the gardens doesn't grow as it should, and that will be on I have strawberries in my garden, so I hope to get strawberries to eat, because it's gonna be so very expensive to buy strawberries, real strawberries. It's not so expensive to buy them frozen, but if you want to have fresh, it's gonna be much money. So I'm glad that I have strawberries in my garden, and I have ordered some strawberry plants that will come next week. So I get more of strawberry. And then last summer I dig down raspberry bushes, and now I don't remember what name it was in English, but another berry bush also. So I have these things to eat, and I have also put down a seed to could eat salad, tomatoes and salad leaves, and then I have since before herbs. So I'm okay with those fresh for the summer, but it's going slowly, very slowly to get it, because of this cold weather. And like in my other country, Kenya, you know that I have a property in Kitale in Kenya, and there is also been very tough. All countries in the world have this with the money to do that. It's be more expensive to live and buy food and buy things and buy gas and those all over the world going on. But in Kenya, is it also that they start to find dead bodies from a church, and that church is like a sect. But what do you call sect? Because it's many churches that is like a sect, but they don't call them sect, but they are like sects, where the pastor, preacher, the owner of the church dictate what you should do and not do. Go in and dig into your life, what you are doing, and they have found dead bodies, because this pastor, he's telling that if they starving to death, they are they are going to get a place in heaven because they do that. And that is suicide. That is to kill yourself. And you know what God talking about that we are not God. So we can't do the suicide. You know that it started for me when I was 48 years old, that life seems so very terrible, and I didn't know God, and I was not in a church. But I decided me to make a suicide, to go out in the water, in the lake close to where I lived, and kill myself. And just before I went out from my home, God come and talk to me. First it come like I call, and I think I know it was a higher priest from heaven that come, and I could see him. And then when he had talked to me about my life, my childhood, and then after he was gone, God come and talked to me, and I didn't see him, I only heard his voice. And it was like what was going on in the night, this night at 3 o'clock, that it was not a voice, but it was a sound that was here and now. It was not really where it come from, because it was just here and now. And yesterday I was watching on television about universe, and this that everything started like here and now, that it was not development. It certainly come into the universe and started to move around and become something, and not like Darwin talking about it's coming from fish in the sea, and then it's come up on land, and then it's been monkeys, and then human. It's not like that. This spirit that wanted to talk today, he is on me now, so he's talking, even if it sounds like my voice, but that is my voice, but he is in my brain and make me talking like I do. And he say that it's the science about how it all started. They say it was like explosion in the universe, that everything come together and be something. And they are very more close than Darwin in this. It's hard to describe it so people can understand it, because it's not how we see and hear things here on earth. It's something that is from outside of this planet, because this planet is one of billions planets. It's not special with this planet. It's I have known it already from the start, that when I started to walk with God, that this planet is a test station for on what people are doing and saying, and what the action of people. And I can tell that it's not much action in my podcast. I see it, and that disturbs me very much in my emotional, because I don't want this planet, and I don't want these people to disappear down into hell, or where they are going. But they don't exist in heaven if they are doing what many doing today. I don't talk about to be in a church, because I have told you many times that I am not in a church. I am a member of the Mormon church, but that is because I don't say I wanted. That's wrong. I was ordered by God, by heaven. Heaven told me 2016 when I was in Jerusalem, and they told me that I should do my DNA. So I have done that, and I can't pay for a DNA test and not do anything about it, what I get for a result of the DNA test. I needed to find out what the result of the DNA was, and why heaven wanted me to do this DNA test. And I know it today because they do whatever they can do to make us understand that they are alive in afterlife. They do in many kind of ways to help you to understand that they see and hear everything what you're doing in your life, and sometimes they have to really knock you down on the ground for you to stand up and find that there is more than what I see with my eyes and what I hear with my ears. It's more. It's that this universe, I say that before, that the universe is a billion of solar system. So there can be so many that is like us out in the universe, and it's I have not thinking about what the Mormon Church is talking about the planet where all are. I think the name is Kelb. I have not studied it because that was not in the area where I should study, because I have been in up to heaven sometimes, and I know how it looked like. All these many rooms that is. It's called room, but it's areas of where we are going, and then is the city, and in the center is the city, but that city is not for everyone. So, and some is coming into the city, but then is it also a big house where God is, a spheric place where God is, and that is not for everyone to come in. But I have been there. I come there in year 2000 when I was on my way to make a suicide, and I didn't know what happened in 2000 when God come. I only know that they show me a clock, and in the beginning they show me a clock in front of my eyes was it clock, and then when God disappeared, when he thought it was enough, and then I saw a clock again, and it had been going on 2.5 hours, and it was like I was when this higher priest come, and then when God come, and it was like not more than 10 minutes that they were talking to me. So I was wondering, what did they say and do in those other minutes for 2.5 hours? What was it? And that was why I come and did this hypnosis. And then I find out from the first session I had that I come to that I was up to heaven when God come and talked to me in year 2000. I go up into heaven, and then I go into this. At first it was I saw Jesus in the garden, and then on the other side of the road I was on, there was 6 white people that met me with white hair and white robes and white beard, looking about the same. Those 6, and that was the same man that was standing in my home and talked to me about my childhood, because I saw him, but I didn't see God, how he looked like. I only know his voice because he was talking to me with a voice, because it was outside, it was not inside me. So that voice was God's voice. And so I know from that moment when God is coming and talk, I know it is he, because I know his voice. And he told me about that he have talking to Abraham and Sarah. So I knew it was not Jesus, and it was God of the Old Testament that was talking to me. And so I know that voice, and I don't remember what I was talking about in about 2000. I think it was about to make suicide, that I didn't do a suicide because the priest, the higher priest, and God come and talk to me before I I did a suicide. So that's what they told me and showing me these things, that it's before you do suicide, you should know the higher priest and God, and go through them before you make a suicide, because when you go through them, you don't do a suicide. You're changed. You are changed when they are coming and talk to you. And that's what, if you feel and think about suicide, then you should ask them first to come and talk to you. And I have taught you. I have told you how to do things in my podcast. So you that is follower of my podcast, you know what I have told you, and you know what to do when you feel that you feel down. And I feel down a little nowadays, because it's very much on me, and I need to really knowing what to do, and it is very hard when the brain is tired in other things. I think this spirit touch make my brain that have with the world to do is going away more and more. I start to be adjust to be in heaven. I am adjust to be in heaven and not into the world. So that's why my brain is very hard now, because I still need to be in the world, but also in the spirit world. And it's very hard to be in both worlds. So it started to be very hard. I get this help, and this man, I got the bill for him to help me 1 month, and that is almost $200, and that is very much for me, because I have the lowest retirement here in Sweden, so it's just so I can survive. And I survive because I don't smoke any cigarettes, or I don't walk out and eat outside. I do my food in my home, and I have traveled, but that have been when God have told me to travel, and then I have got money from God. God have told someone to send me some money, and I have could travel. But now it's some crisis. But I have to pay this for to get help, but I have to wait a little. I can't get any help for a while, so I get money to could pay him. I have to wait now in the summer, and then I have more things for him to do, but I can't do it just now. And then I also try to save money, because I can't stand this winter time in Sweden. I need to travel away, but not so far away like Israel. That was the last time I was so far away. If it's not coming a person that helped me to travel, then I can travel far away. But I can't travel on my own to so far as Israel. That is almost a whole day. And it will be, if I can get the money to go somewhere in wintertime, it will be in Spain or Cyprus, somewhere there, because it's about 4 or 5 hour air in the air at the airplane. To New York from Copenhagen is about 8 hours, and that is a little too long flight if I don't get someone to help me, and that I need. And then I have this man that when they meet me, they be interested of me, but they don't understand what they feel. That's the problem, because they feel like love inside them, but when they feel love inside them, it's going down between their legs, so they want sexual things from me. So they don't understand that feeling they get when they see me and drive me, and that is from God, that tell them, you should help this woman, you should not have sex, you should not fuck them. Sorry for the word, but I have to say that so those other people understand that God is not talking about that to them, but they don't understand. So they see me when they realize, oh, she's a very old woman, and then they are thinking about the sexuality with me. They don't understand that it's God's shining from me to them. It's not about the worldly things. So those men, it have been those that drive me in a taxi, they are Muslims, and they don't understand. They don't understand. I talk to them about God, but they don't understand where I'm coming from. So they think the emotional things they get, that is sexuality. So they don't understand. That's why I tell you that I have met very nice men, but they have disappeared from me because they don't understand that it's a spirit thing. So I really doubt that I will have any man that is coming to help me in a spirit way. not in a sexual way, not to get lots of kids in the worldly way to see it. This is spiritual thing, and no one understand. No one is coming for my help. And you know that I was to Israel, and that was winter time in Israel, and that was a way to show me that that way that I have been walking. I have done the walk, and it have been success of the walk in that way that I could go from not knowing God, not at all. I didn't know anything about God, and then come to know God so much and never ever walk away from God. Whatever happen in this world, I will never leave God. I will never doubt God. I will doubt men and women in this world, but not God. So I have reached that, and it have been success in that way. And but it's very sad that no one in this world understand. So if you have a church leader, a leader for spiritual things, tell your leaders about me, and tell him, mostly is it him, that he need to let me come to your place so you can meet me and he can meet me. And if he want to do something, that I should do something for your group of people, then I do it. And I have much inside me to talk to you about that is special for your church. And you know that in the Bible it says that I have something to say to you, and God is saying things to the church, but he have Samura. He have one special church that he is very pleased with. So that church I need to come to. And it is not about going to countries where it's filthy, it's dirty, so I can be sick. It must be a country that, like United States or countries in Europe, like that. Australia, am I not so very much interested of. But I can fly to Canada if it's so. But that United States and Canada, I need to have someone coming and get me, or else I can't go there anymore. It have had its time when I was on my own and travel in United States. And I was to Toronto when I fly to Utah, so I have been a little in Canada, but I can come back to Canada if someone coming and get me. So if you if you have a leader that can send you to me or send someone else to me for me to come to your place where you are, then do it. So you hear it's something in my throat. I will see. Someone is coming. That's why I am in this with the throat. Someone, he's showing me. He's very big. It looked like that. He have these clothes that maybe look like he is fat, but he maybe isn't. It's this fiber in the clothes that he have that look like that. And I have said that before, I think, and I didn't look at the word for it. But it's when you ride a horse, when you go on a horse and you want him to run fast. You know that race. This is something told you into symbolic, and he hold his whip. He whipped the horse for the horse to run faster, and that the symbolic that he will do that on you if you feel this whipping in your life. That's he that do it and want you to not sit lazy there. He wants you to do action, and it have with me to do. I think it is the why I started coughing. I think it's like a dust that he have with him. So he have been on his way for a long time, he say to me. And these thick clothes he have on, it is because he say he have going through all the 4 seasons, and he come from the winter time. That's why he have this. It's symbolic. It's not about the clothes we wear. He say that it's the symbolic for winter, and it's dead, and he need to whip up someone to life to make action. That's what he is telling. So I stop now because I'm going to thank him for what he's saying to you. It was not me whipping up, it's whipping up you to make action, because I'm not here so much longer. So you need to do action. So thank you for listening, and God bless you.